all, welcome to the BTS Summer Cup with me, Nomad, here Mothara. This is GangSquad, aka X-Penta, aka Skitter Evil, aka Actual Penta, but whatever, they're a bunch of guys, they're playing Dota, they're from Europe, versus Espada, the, I think Russian, CIS area team. And, well, we're separating the boys from the men here in group number 2, and we are already into a bit of a draft, which I'm sure my lovely friend and dear companion Mothara would love to take you through.
I am very excited already. Get to see some Gang Squad back with DNZ now. They have been playing with Afromush recently, so nice to see them go back to their old squad. I did always enjoy watching them. I was going to say Crystal Maiden's definitely a big pickup between both these two teams. They both enjoy running her. So I was interested to see whether it will get banned out in the first phase or whether someone picked it up. And looks like Espada have got it for themselves. We've been tending to see some Crystal Maiden position 4 more than position 5 at the moment. Kind of playing this dual off lane with the Crystal Nova doing so much damage now at level 1. Gang Squad, they go for the Wind Ranger and the Treant Protector in return. Tree's kind of... I feel like some teams really like this hero and some teams just ignore him completely. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can make this one work. I don't know if you saw a game I casted the other day, but the tree actually went for a 0-4-4 skill build, Nomad. He just didn't get any points in Invis at all until level 9.
Wow.
Until level 11, sorry. It was very interesting. Bit questionable, but I'll
how did that work out for him?
I mean, they won the game, so...
Can't complain then.
New meta, I guess. And obviously Wind Ranger picked up alongside as well. Really good hero at the moment. Very versatile still. I think the Orb of the Venom nerf hurts the hero a little bit as a position 4, but still very viable. This PL pick, though, is pretty good. There's not a lot of AoE ability to be able to lock down this PL at the moment. It's kind of really only the Overgrowth, which if you can get a Manta 4 on the PL, that's not too difficult to deal with. And if you doppelganger, you can take off the Leech Seed as well in the laning stage. Okay,
so PL's pretty good versus Treant is what you're trying to put down for us.
Yeah, it's alright. I don't mind it too much. I really like Tree as a hero in the sense you can just run into the enemy jungle, put some deep wards down in a similar sense to like a bounty hunter or something. I think that's one of the main uses of the hero anyway. And that big global team, global. Imagine if Overgrowth was global.
Team fight. Yeah, level 25 talent. That'd be pretty nice.
That'd be sick. I mean, it technically could be global if you put all those trees down for vision.
Yeah, true. Because it spreads the trees, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I'm not wrong. Like, you know.
Well, you're not right either. Somewhere in the middle. Like most things you say.
Come on, man. I like the Axe ban from Espada. Very good against PL. And it's so good in the laning stage as well, just having that counter helix available. Makes it really difficult for the PL to just sustain himself in the laning stage. And having that AoE catch available on the Axe is always useful.
True.
Are we going to see the Wind Ranger as a position 2, position 4, position 5, position 3? I've seen a position 1 Wind Ranger before as well. Someone please nerf this hero.
She can be played just about anywhere right now, and that really is a sort of strength of the with the hero. Yeah, it's nice seeing all different combinations, but you know, are we bored of Wind Ranger yet? Because I don't think I can ever get bored of this hero, because those power shots just, you know, sometimes when you get those skill shots coming through, it gives me shivers. Definitely one of the fun heroes to watch, I would say.
Yeah, she's definitely fun to watch. Like anybody with a skill shot like Shackle is always super fun. But yeah, definitely needs a nerf in my book. Unfortunate, but when it gets first pick material for quite a long length of time, it's probably in the nerf books getting ready. I'm interested to see whether Espada can carry on their form from the TI qualifiers as well. Obviously, they did lose out to Windstrike in the end in the final. I think it was 3-1 in the final to Windstrike, but I think Espada did themselves justice. They played really well, so I'm glad to see them stick together. See how much they can improve.
Yeah, definitely. It's always nice to see teams which stick together for a long time. Talking of which, after this game, we're going to have is it the first game of the new unregistered Kingwin team? So that could be interesting. I believe they're called...
Let's Go In or something like that.
Yeah, let's do it or Let's Go In. Yeah.
Let's do it, yeah. Let's do it sounds better.
Let's do it.
I like the Ember pickup from Gang Squad as well. Obviously, having that AoE available from probably the Maelstrom procs against the PL is really nice. Forcing Espada to pick up some kind of good lockdown for the Ember Spirit. So maybe having to change the way they want to play their draft now. Espada. Ember kind of forces you to do that so you can deal with them at some point. And they've actually banned out heroes like the Sand King and the Axe themselves, so it might be a little bit difficult for them.
Okay,
They do have the Crystal Maiden and Frostbite, but it's not great.
Yeah, relying on your Crystal Maiden to shut down an Ember Spirit is often scary, because if your team's not there, then that Crystal Maiden's gonna die. I don't know if you knew this, but Crystal Maiden's actually a really squishy hero.
I was going to say, if Ember Spirit uses one slight fish, she dies, so you do have to be very careful. I think they've realised that they wanted to ban out these good lockdown heroes because they had a PL for themselves, and now GangSquad just pick up the Ember. They're like, oh god, okay. That's an interesting pick, though.
Yeah,
so,
kind of. Does this combo well with the Phantom Lancer? It's okay, I guess, but
yeah, it's okay. The other thing is that if you use the Purge from the ults onto the Ember Spirit, it gets rid of the Flame Guard constantly.
Flame Guard, yeah.
And the other thing is, if he doesn't have a Remnant out already on the Ember and you purge him, he can't use them to get out again because they're so slow.
Yeah,
There's just no chance of getting out of that fight again. But I'm not sold on the Shadow Demon, I'll be honest.
Yeah, maybe so as long as he's got a Remnant already up, then I don't think Ember Spirit's in much trouble, is he?
No.
So
unless there's some weird interaction where the Purge removes his Remnants that are already out. But
fairly certain that's not the case. I think we would have seen a lot more Shadow Demon than that if that was the case.
I like the Brewmaster pickup by GangSquad as well. This is one of Boogie's favourite heroes. Very good against the PL when you get the Storm Panda online from your ult. Use the Dispel, just clears through all the illusions, doing so much damage. And it's also very good against the Shadow Demon illusions as well in the fights. I think it's a super valuable pickup from GangSquad, not only for that, but it gives them like a team fight trump card almost as well. So yeah, there you go. I was going to say Espada need to pick up for something for themselves that deals with this brew in these team fights. Otherwise, I feel like he's going to kind of do whatever he wants.
Sure. Could we possibly see the True Protector tree respawn talent, since he's already got the Wind Ranger and the Ember Spirit? Both heroes break down trees quite a lot. You know, this could be troublesome for the Treant in the long run. Could it be possible?
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm sure the only reason they picked the Treant is just because they needed to help respawn the trees faster.
Exactly,
The Wind
yeah.
Ranger Jackal too. Great idea, Nomad.
Thanks.
10 out of 10.
That's the Nomad analysis for today. I'm just going to kick my feet up and call it a day on the old analysis front. I'll just you take it from here. Take the wheel.
I'm not sure about this Espada lineup so far. I've got to be honest, I'm not convinced. This Crystal Maiden Shadow Demon support duo seems a little bit rough around the edges to me. Yeah.
I quite like just a stun from Espada, because they've got a root, they've got a banish,
10 seconds
they've got a doom, but they don't have a stun.
Like, they're against these two really mobile heroes in the Ember Spirit and the Wind Ranger, and they're kind of lacking that hard lockdown, like you say.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward because they do have tools in their box to kind of stop and kind of limit, but yeah, stopping power is not there right now, and that
something
could
like
come
a
back to bite
Lena.
them.
I'd like something like a Lena here. You know, they have some burst damage for the brew.
Yeah,
They have the
Lena would be
setup
nice.
In the Shadow Demon, ready for the LSA.
And gives us some much needed magic damage, which they don't really have on their team right now.
Yeah, and fire beats grass, so the tree entry
True,
dies.
very true. More tree destroying power, which could be countered. But they're gonna go for the Invoker instead. Okay, all right. It's all right. Like we said, it's not that.
I was going to think of some Quest Exort points here, but I feel like we've been seeing more Quest Rex Invoker than anything. I feel like it's a really good Quest Rex Invoker game, especially against the Treant Protector, against the Ember Spirit. You know, you have that Tornado coming through, purging spells off.
remaining.
And if you can get that Tornado EMP off onto the Brew before the fight starts, he just doesn't have any mana for his ult at all. The Tornado takes off the Wind Run as well. Lots of different usages here. And even if they want to go for the Exort route, they have the Shadow Demon Disruption set up too.
Sorry, doesn't Shadow Demon's ulti go through the Purge off Wind Runner as well?
Yes, it does. It's one of the best spells against Wind Ranger in general in dealing with her.
That's pretty dope. And it would get rid of Living Armor as well, wouldn't it? So
yes, I think so.
all things considered, it's a pretty tasty spell.
I've got to be honest, the Living Armor interactions with other spells I don't really know too much about because this hero's been very distant, it feels like, for quite a long time. It's nice to see it
That
coming
is
back.
true. Yeah, we've seen a couple of Treants. I'm still looking forward to the Treant sniper lane, which everybody's going to pull out at TI. It's going to be the new meta, mark my words. Nomad said it first.
I mean, it's really difficult for the Ember to lane up against this Doom or the Invoker now, I feel like. If the Ember matches up against the Invoker mid, he has to absolutely own those first 2 waves if he goes Quaswex.
Yeah, but we don't see many people go Exhort anymore, but maybe this is the game. But, you know, again, you kind of want at least 1 or 2 lockdowns in your lane to be able to get all those Sunstrikes off, and I don't think the CM alone is enough. Although maybe the Shadow Demon with the timing, if they get the timings right.
Oh yeah, the Shadow Demon's super good because he put the Soul Catcher down as well, and it amplifies the Sunstrike damage. I think it's 40% or something, isn't it? So that's a lot of pure damage coming through.
Ooh, okay. Well, this guy has received a buff recently. I can't remember what it is.
They've just picked Terrorblade into Shadow Demon as well. That's super risky.
That is, yeah, that's a bit, balls to the wall, we could call it, with the Terrorblade pick up there. But hey, you know, you don't win the games if you don't take a couple of risks. So what does this Terrorblade do to this lineup then?
It allows them to take objectives more than anything. I would say.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that they needed. I still don't understand why they've just enabled this Shadow Demon about 100 times more than before, but I guess they must be feeling pretty confident. And they do have ways of dealing with the illusions, like we mentioned in the Brewmaster, so not the end of the world, I guess.
Alright, well, we'll see if GangSquad can pull up this Terrorblade match. I think it's the first Terrorblade match I've casted in a very long time. The Fiend in the Night not being picked up so much recently. Why did he fall out of favour? Is it because of the meta changes?
The Terrorblade? Yeah, it's, the hero got a bit of a nerf, didn't it, to... I can't remember what was it to? It was to the Reflection, sorry. I can't remember what the skill was, where you could purge it off with BKBs and Mantas and things. And then he got the 3.7 to 4.2 Agi gain last patch, and I feel like it when you're giving Terrorblade an extra half an Agi every level, I'm not too surprised to see it picked up, but in this game I am pretty surprised just because of the Shadow Demon more than anything. I'm interested to see whether they can make this Crystal Maiden Shadow Demon support combo work as well. And I imagine it's probably going to be the CM position 5. But yeah, it is. So Shadow Demon position 4. Okay. Again, not sold, but we'll see. I like to be proven wrong.
Don't we all?
If you get proved wrong, it means you've learnt. So
very wise words.
We all have to aspire towards it. I'm basically just covering myself in case I'm wrong from the from the start of the game, but
oh really? No one could tell. Well, right now it looks like the Terrorblade's hanging mid.
Oh, so they're putting the Terrorblade up against the Invoker in the mid lane, and when he pops that meta.
How similar does the Shadow Demon and the Doom look here? This is ridiculous. Like,
oh, they both.
These heroes are, one's just slightly more. This is. How am I supposed to do my job here? These teamfights, okay. Can I get a free pass on confusing Shadow Demon for Doom? Because look at this.
They're actually the same hero, aren't they?
Oh my god, this is impossible. Alright, I've got my work cut out for me today, guys. Got my work cut out for me. As someone puts down a liquid spray on the top lane. That's pretty memes. Well, Iron Man tries to go for the rune. Doesn't really pull it off, and now he could be in some trouble as those poison stacks coming off. Doom with the blocks and the Infernal Blade as well. He's making it to the tree line. I think he's going to be alright here, although they're still going. They're still going. 5 stacks. It's going to be enough. Immersion gets first blood onto Iron Man.
Someone has to TP up and help this PN in the top lane, though, otherwise he's in trouble. I think they just wanted to secure the Bountunes in the bot area, and they get the first spread as well, so definitely worth it. This Crystal Nova damage at level 1, though, is absolutely ridiculous, by the way. 100 mana for 130 damage. There's not many spells that can do as much effectiveness as that.
Well, pretty tasty. Pretty tasty. I'm most interested to see how this Terrorblade goes in the middle lane. Obviously, early on, it's not so bad. He can just pop this Metamorphosis to make sure he gets his level 2 safely. After that, though, I think things could get a little bit tricky.
Possibly, but when he pops his meta, look at his CS compared to the Invokers already. Like, he just secures every single CS at the start of the game. just because of this metamorphosis. The first 2 waves are completely his.
It's a lot of damage, and Evoker even trying to use the Cold Snap to take a last hit off him, but doesn't quite work. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, there's a lot of action going on down here. We saw RMN almost falling again as Immersion got those poison stacks off, so doing a lot of work so far on the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, one of the best heroes in terms of just spamming with the Shadow Poison just for harass. It's so difficult to play against this, and especially when the Crystal Maiden gets a level 2 up with the Aura, just to help sustain the Shadow Demon mana, which he does have problems with in the early stages of the game.
Yeah. Talking about Crystal Maiden, how's things going at top? Right now it is Boogie asserting his dominance over this lane, and Nick's having a little bit of trouble. But you know, this is very typical of carries right now. They tend to take a little bit of time to get going with the dual lanes and everything.
Yeah, they do, especially with this dual lane coming out with the tree and the with the Wind Range and the Brewmaster as well.
Yeah, so that's a lot of harass. It's a heavy lane to be in.
I don't really like playing this Crystal Maiden in a dual lane that doesn't have much kill potential. I feel like it's kind of a waste in the hero in that sense. Like the Crystal Nova does so much damage and it slows for so long, 20% for 4.5 seconds. I feel like it's just not one of those good defensive heroes like we've seen in the Warlock and the Witch Doctor in the most recent patches.
Alright, now bottom lane, that was just the poison ticking through, so just managing to get those stacks up and then the treant just goes from full to 0 health very quickly.
Yeah, the Shadow Demon has 2.6 mana regen as well. So good in this bot lane.
Yeah.
It just enables this hero so much more than before.
Nine's doing okay on CS, you know, his support might be dying but he is not, so he's going to be happy for now, but you know, this lane's only going to get harder now that they start to fall behind.
I don't know, this laning stage is going okay for GangSquad. I don't think they mind too much. Like, if the Ember's having a rough time, I don't think they mind just because the Turblade's having a great time in the mid lane. He's got 8 denies. Sitting about a level and up.
And in comes a tree into the middle lane. That's got the lifesteal available. Throws out that Leash Seed, but I don't think this is a kill here as ILTW gets under the tower. And Cold Snap and tower damage going to be quite a lot onto Iron Man. Not enough to finish him off, of course, but just gives him a bit of a beating. Meanwhile, PL up in the top lane, getting down really low, has to jump away from Boogie and DNZ. DNZ's going to have a power shot in 5 seconds, but the salve comes out from Nyx, and he's going to be alright.
Just trading harass. This Brewmaster's having an amazing lane.
I mean, this guy's got no health, and he's just right up in Nyx's face here. He's not even bothered.
He has the one stick charges. He just has to be super careful now. Oh, they missed the Nova though onto the Brew.
Well, they got onto the Wind Ranger, but she's going to TP on Ada here, and that's not going to be a kill. Boogie comes back in and just taunts himself away.
The Wind Ranger actually hasn't put a point in Wind Run in this lane, which is pretty interesting. So normally what we see is people get the Wind Run at level 1 and just use it to trade harass, but not using it this time. I guess when you're against the Crystal Maiden, she doesn't really trade well
Crystal
anyway.
Maiden and PL, they're just going to be throwing spells at you more than anything. Meanwhile, Brew getting jumped again, and they're even going to doppelganger forward for this one. Boogie being chased right down here, but they just can't find the damage onto him. He's so very tanky, and with those missed chances as well, makes him a formidable target to bring down. Meanwhile, back in this middle lane, things are not going well for ILTW as we're at 25-12 on the Terrorblade, and only 15-1. 1 deny, that's a big one, and already we see Oliver hanging a full level over the Invoker. He needs to make something happen here in this middle lane, but what can he really do?
This lane's definitely massively Terrorblade favoured though. They just have to get past the lane stage on the Invoker.
Bottom lane, RMN could be in trouble. They're chasing him down here, and they've got that Infernal Blade and the Scorched Earth. They're just going to dive him straight under tower here. The poison's going to tick him off. But Nine, he gets a beautiful double shackle onto Immersion and BZZ. Coming forwards, can he get the last hit onto Immersion? He certainly cannot. Immersion just pops that salve and going to force back Nine for now, as both the salves are popped, and he just can't cancel them. That is torture. This is absolute torture as he watches them both salve up, and actually there's poison stacks starting to stack up, but does miss 2 in a row, so that will wear off, and Nine will live to farm another day. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, they dive the tower onto Misha and get the kill on that squishy support hero and bring him down under tower.
Bad efficiency from the Ember. He had about 10 stick charges before he pumped about 5 more of those shadow poisons, dude. Very sad. Missing out on all those valuable stick charges. I know he's trying to hold them just in case he's getting dove under tower. He wants the burst heal, but even so.
Efficiency versus burst. Well, middle lane, it could be Oliver going down here as they're chasing him, but they just don't have the movement on the Crystal Maiden. That hero is so very slow. RMN coming in as well. There's 3 heroes from the die here, but it just doesn't look like they're going to make anything happen in this middle lane.
That was a really good play by RMN there, though. He just leech sheeted the creep just to heal up the Terrorblade a little bit. I know it's all these little things that add up, but...
Yeah. Oh, bottom lane. Nine's going to pop with the Flame Guard and start to run down BTZ, but Emergence coming in from behind. He's got a haste rune, actually. Nine could be in some serious difficulty here. Actually, he's level 6, so he does have the Fire Remnant available if he wants them. So he's just going to play around a little bit. There comes the Banish. Hoof Stomp is not there, actually. It's a Thunderclap, so yeah, Nine is fine.
I don't like that he hasn't got a point in Slight on this Ember as well.
Top lane, there's a bit of a scramble going on as Boogie's going to get frozen up, but this guy's just frontlining and there's nothing really Misha and Nyx can do to bring him down. They just don't seem to do any damage to him, and this is kind of one of the big problems with Crystal Maiden. You can just ignore her. Just a little...
You could ignore her for us in a sense, but I don't like that she's got the second point in the aura instead of maxing out the Frostbite. The build that I've liked seeing the most at the moment is going for like a 1-4-1 build. And just maxing out that really high damage Frostbite earlier.
There's action all over the place in these lanes as both teams just trying to get whatever kills they can, trying to force mistakes. And there's one or two happening, but overall there's been a lot less deaths than you might have expected from this laning phase, considering how both teams are playing right now.
It's only really the off lanes for both teams that feel like they haven't any massive kill potential. This Shadow Demon's doing a lot of work, but now that Ember's level 6 especially, I think he's perfectly happy. Oh, immersion with the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, what can he actually do here? I mean, he throws down the disruption. The Flame Guard's still going to pick through Nine, though. He's got a Fire Remnant available. The Raindrop saves immersion for a little bit, but it's not enough to save him through the long run as he drops. And that is the 3 times kill streak going to Nine. Nine's finding an excellent start to this game.
Yep, really well played by him. Pops the Mango just to have the mana to use the Remnant. Securely finishes off the kill.
Smooth, but I kind of feel like this game is going really, really well for GangSquad right now. You got Olivo's leading the net worth chart. Sorry, leading the CS chart. Not leading the net worth, actually. That honor goes to Doom, thanks to Devour. And he's generally had a nice time in this middle lane. He's doing fantastically on levels. And then you've got the Ember down in the bottom lane, who's been finding himself a bunch of kills now, and is really starting to come into this game in a big way. So compare that to your Phantom Lancer, and he's sitting on 27 CS. Not doing fantastically. Wind Ranger, is she alright here? I have to Wind Run out of this one. It's a lot of magic damage, but it's not quite enough to bring down DNZ.
She's okay. Mid lane as well. Oliver gets Tornado EMP'd by the Evoker, just loses all his mana straight away. And he's like, oh,
well, he doesn't need mana.
Can't really stay in this lane anymore. Which is great.
Yeah, just run up top, get the... That's going to happen every time he comes in, though.
Yeah, it's really sad. Like, there's a Terrorblade, he doesn't have a massive mana pool. And every time the Invoker pops his Tornado EMP, it's really rough for him. Especially when he wants to be summoning those images, the reflections of himself. Just to be able to farm the jungle at the same time.
Top lane, Boogie waits. He actually went for these phase boots nice and early, which is quite interesting, but it's already proven he's kind of tanky enough, so...
Espada have come back into this laning stage really well, though.
Double crit onto Nyx, quite huge, and they will use the split. And there's the excellent use of the Water Panda just to blow up the illusions really quickly. And then there's a Shaggle shot to the tree. Nyx could be in trouble here, but they have the damage to finish him off. I'm not quite sure they do. Rocks coming through, but they get it onto the illusion. It's the wrong one. Now Boogie coming forwards. He can't quite find the Phantom Lancer. He could be in trouble himself now as the Spirit Lance comes through, and Nyx is going to chase him through the tree line. DNZ doing what he can from the sidelines. So I'm going to fire through some power shots. It's not enough to scare away Espada as they're trying to chase down Boogie. Only 2 stacks of poison on him, so that's going to be absolutely fine. But in comes the Invoker. He's here with the Tornado. Boogie, surely he's going to go down here. There's a Cold Snap. EMP as well, not holding anything back. They bring down the Panda, and it was quite a mission to do so, but they'll be very happy that they did.
I'll be honest, that was a really big misplay by Boogie on the Brew. I don't know if you saw, but when he popped the ult, he used the first Earth Panda stun onto the Brew, onto the PL.
Sorry, Roman's getting chased down in the bottom lane. He's just going to get popped by BTZ trying to get the rune.
Oh, okay.
He didn't
he popped the Brewmaster out and he didn't micro the Earth Panda. The Earth Panda was just farming creeps while the other 2 Brew Pandas were diving the PL into the tower. So he didn't have that follow-up stun. And that just meant the PLs could just walk away freely. That's
ouch.
Unfortunate miss micro.
Yeah. Oh, as time goes on, Boogie lines up that Blink Dagger for the initiation, and I believe they do need it this game. RMN's not going to be getting anyone anytime soon. Well, BZZ in the bottom lane. They're taking a bit of damage, and they consider chasing into the tree line, but in the end they leave it.
Oh, they actually
Doom used onto 9 here, so in comes the teleports. Invoker is here, EMP into the tree lines. I think they might want to just leave this guy because he is most certainly dead. DNZ coming in, Misha's even joining in with this one as well though. Under the tower, Wind Ranger going to try and TP out. 9 actually comes back to a Remnant, TPing back into this fight. Meanwhile, RMN looking very low in health. He's got an urn ticking away at him as well. He's going to drop. 9 really needs to find a kill here. He's just brought back for this. Meanwhile, Misha hits 6, immediately popping that ultimate and being able to finish off DNZ. Now 9, if he goes down again, it's going to be really bad, and he does drop a questionable buyback at best, and he's going to be feeling pretty silly about that one. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Nyx is in a bit of trouble as Boogie's chasing him down, but he can't quite find that last hit as Nyx just plays it around the tower. Nothing left from Boogie as he could be in trouble. It's going to finally get that primal split as it comes off cooldown. And this time the Earth Spirit does come along. They'll throw him up into the air, bring him down. Do they have the rock? They certainly don't. They're going to have to guess right, and I think Boogie may have once again overextended here and will not find a kill with that ultimate. Might actually go down himself once he comes back into this. Oh, phase away, but Immersion, he's going to throw out the ultimate. Why not? And in comes Nyx, and they'll just finish down the Panda. Alright, a couple of overextensions and a couple of misplays leading to Penta basically completely ditching their lead in this kind of early to mid game situation. It's now 10 kills for Espada.
That was really interesting. So when the Ember buys back there, the only way that the buyback works is if one of his, or at least one of his other cores TP down to that bot fight to help. So he basically he buys back Remnants in. I'm sure he's screaming at his team to TP in. Brewmaster's TP was on cooldown, and the Terrorblade TP was in his backpack. So there was nobody there to help him, and I feel like that's a really bad missed team communication there. And the Brewmaster pops his second ult, and they still don't get anything with it. Yeah. When you pop 2 primal splits on a Brewmaster, you don't get anything done. Like, that's your big first power spike in the game, getting this level 6. And he just hasn't achieved anything with it so far. And it feels like, this is really rough now for them.
Well, you're playing Brew, you're kind of looking to get that Blink Dagger online nice and quick, then you get the strong initiation, then you kind of catapult forward with that initiation, the fighting you've got available to you. And get yourself like a Piper or Crimson Guard. I imagine it's going to be Pipe this game, so the lateness on this Pipe is really going to sting for his team as well. As bottom lane falls, as BZD and ILTW just hit it down, no problems at all. And Penta, they're in an awkward position. Sorry, not Penta. GangSquad. I know what it feels like to be this Terrorblade. You know these Terrorblades, the Medusas, the guys who kind of hang around and don't really fight this early. You know, you're just telling your team, guys, just make space for me, you know, it's fine. And then you start jungling and you see your teams, you know, dying back under towers and diving, you know, with using 2 primal splits and all. You're kind of just like sweating profusely as you farm, like, oh god, what are they doing? Just give me a couple more minutes, guys. Stop throwing the game, please. I'm doing so well.
To be honest, I don't think Espada mind too much of this Terrorblade as decent farm, because if the Terrorblade's getting stronger, you're just making the Shadow Demon stronger as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a huge issue.
Your strength, it's our strength. Well, Overgrowth is used just onto Immersion here, but he's of course got that banish, so he's just gonna hide away for now. And again, another ultimate thrown out and leads to nothing. And that was a 3-on-2 fight, and they couldn't get anything from it. There's actually 4 heroes up here at top, so...
Yep. IOTW on this Invoker is actually getting Spirit Vessel as well, which is... when we see this Invoker being played in the mid lane, I know when Stormstorm's been playing it for LOTV anyway, he never goes back for this Vessel at any point in the game. He goes for like a blink or a Yules as his second item after the urn.
Yeah, I think a lot of players like the Spirit Vessel, like Topson really likes the Spirit Vessel as well. It gives you some serious pick-off capability. The damage is pretty bananas, and it's really... does it work versus Sunder?
No, it doesn't. The Sunder just goes, just swaps HP. It's not a heal, well, it's a swap. Or whatever.
Works versus a Treant, I guess. Oh, Power Shot coming through, doing a lot of damage to Immersion here. 9 really wants to chase, but he's got to play nice. Doesn't want to overextend once again. Surely they can bring down the Crystal Maiden. Yes, they can. Okay, finally they find another kill, but she actually buys back into this game. Going to TP back into this one as GangSquad just clear themselves out of here.
Yeah, they understand as soon as the Brewmaster ults down, they can just go again and not really have to worry about anything. Honestly, that's such a super underwhelming Brewmaster ult when you use it and you just kill a Crystal Maiden.
Stop railing on Boogie. He's making space for his Terrorblade.
Honestly, you might as well have just not got a kill at all. But that buyback
might as well just not be playing right now.
That buyback by Crystal Maiden pretty worthless though as well. They're not really getting anything from it.
That's true. But Terrorblade could be in a bit of trouble here. They're gonna pop everything. The Thunder is out, but Misha kind of knew that one was coming though. In comes 9. They get the dieback, but Oliver, he could be in trouble. Well, maybe not actually. It looks like he's gonna just sulk away from this one and Espada, they don't want to overextend into an Ember Spirit here.
I do know the top tower though, which is pretty good.
And Ember's now got his Boots of Travel up as well, so not a build we're used to seeing anymore in Ember Spirit, but gonna give him a lot of mobility.
Espada GangSquad have to try and extend this game out for the Ember. We've talked about the lack of lockdown on Espada, so if they can get to a point in the game where, for GangSquad, where they can just dance this Ember around the map and open up the map by using these Boots of Travel, they'll be trying to look towards this late game, just so they have these two really strong cores in the Ember and the Terrorblade.
Well, as we reach the 16-minute mark, it's a 1k advantage for Espada, so not huge, but it's feeling like the game is sort of going in their favour. GangSquad, they're going to be looking to pull something off pretty soon. I'm predicting a smoke gank once you kind of got this. Maybe get the Manta on Terrorblade, then start getting aggressive, but I definitely feel like they need to start thinking in this game in a more aggressive playstyle, which is pretty hard when you look at their lineups, but I don't really see... I mean, I guess they can take it super late. They've got an Ember, they've got a Terrorblade, but... they need to make some plays now, because they're not going to survive through his mid-game otherwise. Oh, nice blink out from Boogie. And the doomed guess is wrong. Boogie with the double baits. See?
I think the main difference between these two teams at the moment, though, is that Espada have these two space-creating cores in the Doom and the Invoker. Because the Invoker's gone for this Quest Works build, he can fight early with this early Spirit Vessel pickup as well.
Yeah.
But if you look at the side of going in, they only really have this Brewmaster that they can make plays around. Until the Wind Ranger gets this Javelin into a Merishem or something, they don't really have this damage output to partner with the Brewmaster in that sense. If you saw it just before, the Doom smoked up with the Crystal Maiden. Unfortunately, they didn't get anything done, but they have so much damage between those two heroes that if they do find somebody in the smoke, they can pick somebody off. And they're doing a really good job of playing around this Doom at this point in time, just making sure they fight around their strong heroes.
You know what? I'm really liking GangSquad's vision around the map. If you just look here, they've kind of got these the wards near the shrines, so they see both shrines. They know, you know, this is a very common place to smoke up in, a very common place to TP in to sort of start for a gank. So this is going to give them a lot of valuable information in terms of knowing where the enemy are and knowing what parts of the map they're going to attack. And see, yep, they probably just spotted these two heroes out on this ward in the middle lane, so now they know that they don't go to this area in the jungle. Except RMN says, I don't care.
RMN's gone for the no points in Invis again.
Yep.
I really don't understand this.
Doesn't he know that invisibility is invincibility?
The thing I don't understand is 1 point is so valuable, and I talked in the draft how using this Invis to go into the enemy jungle, put these deep wards down, can be super good, and I feel like there's no reason to not put 1 point in it. You don't have to use it for this movement speed and for the root duration and everything, but using it to get that deep vision down is so useful. If he maxes Leech Sheet out now... Actually, it was RMN that did this build last time for GangSquad. He went with the 044 build.
Oh no, they've been talking to each other, they've been sharing their horrible ideas. That's the thing, like, alright, there's a bit of no-man analysis here. There's lessons to be learnt from every aspect, every skill level of Dota, and if you be sometimes the pro players, you just need to get on a Smurf, play a couple of 2k games, and they will learn the true value of invisibility, because you can't be killed when you're invisible. And, you know... I mean,
I understand it. If you go for the Leech Sheet and the Living Armor build, you have so much sustain. But when you're playing against a Shadow Demon and an Evoker that can take both those skills off, like, can take the Living Armor off, and they can just dispel the Leech Sheet with the PL Doppelganger, I feel like it's so invaluable in just going 044. Like, you really need this route to be able to lock down the PL and kill him. Because he can't Doppelganger out of the route. I wish I could talk to RMN after this game and just find out what his reasoning is behind it, because he must have a reason.
DNZ gonna find Invoker here and immediately open up with a focus fire, but she's only got the Javelin available, so the damage isn't insane. But they're gonna pop the split, they're gonna pop the rock, and they'll be able to bring down the Invoker. And Doom, he actually wanted to cast Doom onto DNZ here, but immediately gets lifted. Nice reactions from Boogie, and in comes the Fire Remnant as well. No, thinking about it. Oh, sorry, that was just the Fire Panda.
You got a big Invoker kill. There's no reason to just chase for no reason. That Doom's deceptively tanky with 1700 health, even though he doesn't have much armor. Get the Invoker kill, just settle for that, reset, wait for your Brew Ultimate again, and go again. Don't take a silly fight now.
Yep, that was really nice of them as well, and also, you know, the psychological factor. Come onto our side of the map and we'll kill you. You know, give you a bit more safety, make the enemy team fear being aggressive on you.
Terrorblade's just been farming away this
could
whole
be trouble.
game,
He's just going to be able to TP out of this one. No Emotion is there with the disruption. And now PL in the middle of it all. He's probably going to be going down here. No escape out for you. And they even tip him.
Did he catch him? Was he just... Did he go back to a Remnant and try and TP out?
He didn't go back to a Remnant. He just TP'd just on the spot.
Did he not have a safety Remnant out?
No, I don't think he did.
See, that's an interesting play.
Oh, RMN. He's actually getting altered by the CM, who is dropping very low to the power shot. RMN's just kind of walking out of this one. The guy's so darn tanky, but they do bring him down. BCC lands the last hit with his mighty Infernal Blade.
Is RMN walking into the enemy jungle there to get some deep vision down? See in his inventory. Imagine if he had a point in invis that where if he went along trees, he wouldn't be scouted out.
Alright.
God damn.
Very cocky to be right, aren't you?
I mean, I don't want to flame because, like I said, I'm sure he's got a reason, but...
I don't want to flame, but I'm going to anyway, that's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, it's my job to question their builds, dude.
True. Well, it's going to be Espada using this bit of momentum they got from the Treant kill to try and take some objectives, and I was just about to say, before that gank happened, where are Espada's objectives right now? They came out of the laning phase with, 8 kills above the enemy team, doing pretty well on net worth, 1k above, but, with the team they have, that is a big difference.
Lane, Boogie.
Yeah, Boogie. He's got his mana drained. He tried to pop... no, he didn't actually. He's just going to drop, though. Spirit Vessel, Cold Snap. It's a lot. It's a lot of headaches.
As soon as that Tornado EMP comes out, they're done. Like, that Brewmaster just can't survive anymore, especially with the Cold Snap and the Spirit Vessel too. I feel like they need to be popping meta to get objectives here on the Terrorblade. It feels like GangSquad are trying to get to this point in the game where they're really strong. But I'm not seeing it.
DNZ in the middle lane. He's in a lot of trouble. Nick's just going to hit him down. They'll give the kill to the PL. That was quite nice. They jumped on with the Infernal Blade in order to make him windrun, and then they jumped in with Misha and got the Frostbite, and then that allowed him to the windrun duration to be wasted, and Nick's could just come in and finish it off. Meanwhile, there is an ulti. They've called out on the Crystal Maiden.
Run, Maiden!
Yeah, the Terrorblade illusion, can he do it? No, the team are there to kill it.
I mean, they have a Brewmaster split up now in the mid lane. He is around this tier 2 here, but... Oh yeah, here we go.
Just going to use it, try and go onto LILTW here. The Invoker would be a fantastic kill to start off this fight. He's also dusted up as well as the Brewmaster pandas kind of surround him here. Meanwhile, Misha just gets blown up by 9 of the backlines with the fortunate Maelstrom proc. Invoker, well, he's going to be up in the air for a while here, and can they finish him off? Although the Tornado comes out onto 9, and in comes BCC as well. He's got this Doom available, but he can't find his target. Trying to catch the Terrorblade, who's up onto the high grain. Oliver is trying to run away. Boogie also trying to get out as Nyx is chasing him down. DNZ and Boogie doing what they can to get out of this one. Meanwhile, Nyx is chasing, and he is going to find the kill onto the Panda here. RMN could have just walked into a whole world of hurt here. He can't even get off the armor. He's just going to drop. And Espada turned that fight around quite convincingly. Well, that was, yeah.
They popped the Brew split though, and they tried to go on the Invoker, and they just have no follow-up damage to be able to go along with it. Like, I don't understand how they're ever going to kill the Invoker there with the split. You need another hero to be able to do damage here. Like, Terrorblade, I don't know if he had meta up at the time. He has it now. Like, they really need to try and play around this big meta cooldown and get some kills. Just use the meta and the split together and get objectives.
It's used onto Ember Spirit here. And the illusions as well. They're just going to do all of the work and finish off 9 inside his own base. Wow. Pretty tasty. Now ILTW comes in onto RMN, going to throw out that Tornado, but in comes the Brewmaster on the backlines, jumping in with that Stomp.
Oh.
We'll get purged off, and with the illusions, they're doing a lot. They're actually going to sunder him to keep him alive.
Yeah, they have
to. That's actually really smart, yeah, because the ultimate from the Shire Demon's about to tick through.
So there's an interesting interaction here as well, that when you disrupt the Brewmaster, because you get the Drunken Brawler, actually both the illusions crit on the first hit. Against the Brewmaster himself, which it does so much damage along with the Soul Catcher.
Alrighty, so a couple more lost fights from Penta. I haven't quite seen a convincing team fight out from them yet. There's still time, and obviously the longer this game goes on, the more of the threat the Terrorblade becomes. And yes, Shadow Demon's going to get his illusions, but at the same time, Terrorblade's got just the same amount of illusions and the real Big Daddy himself. So definitely more scary, but that just means Espada have to keep on applying the pressure. They've now started taking objectives. They've taken the 2 towers at mid, and they're picking out top as well. They know what they're going for here. You know, they've hit this diffuser blade. They've got the Yasha. Manta's going to be out soon. I imagine there's probably just the Spirit Vessel as well. Gave them the confidence to start going for these, and of course the blink on the Doom as well. Gives them some seriously strong team fight. Now Immersion with the quick reactions on that disruption there, stopping the Boogie getting the stomp off, but he might still suffer all the same as he is rooted up in the middle of this team fight and does get brought down. Tornado comes through a little bit too late to save his support, though BCZ in the middle of this one doing a lot of damage. DNZ, he's not going to be able to escape here as that ultimate ticks through, but now Nyx on the backlines are doing a lot of damage to him here as Nice trying to play about, doesn't really want to get caught out on things. Meanwhile, the tower has fallen, and well, Espada, they trade a support for a support. A 4 for a 4. And I don't know how good you are at maths, but that is an equal trade. But the fact that Espada get the tower as well definitely makes things better for Espada.
Yeah, I really like that this Terrorblade's just gone for a BKB before finishing the Manta off. They need some way to be able to fight into this Invoker, because the last few minutes have definitely not gone their way at all. They're losing map control, they're losing team fights. They're having a really rough time.
I didn't quite see that, but I think BZZ cancelled his Infernal Blade hit on, or maybe, I think he might have been attacking a creep rather than
it was just
himself.
the Revenant back from the Ember. It meant he couldn't get the Infernal Blade all the way off.
Yeah, I think he casted 2.
I don't know.
Crystal Maiden in the front lines. Can they finish her off, though? There's a TP in from 9 as well. I think Misha is going to be the sacrificial maiden here, although they do get the chains off onto the Doom. He's got Doom available, but I don't think he wants to pop it here.
They just popped a Meta for this. They have to find more.
Yeah, well, they're going to find more as they blow up BZZ. And they're pretty satisfied with this. This is going to give them a kind of destroy Espada's momentum a little bit, which is exactly what they need to do to get themselves back into this one.
Yeah. I feel like they should probably just go into the Roche pit now if they're Radiant as well. They've got this big team fight in the Doom down. He doesn't have buyback, which I know they don't know, but you need to try and get some kind of objective here and get the game going in your favour again, because Espada, they've been building up that momentum so much in the last few minutes that when you actually do finally win this team fight, you need to be able to get something along with it in an objective. They take this Roche so quickly with the Terrorblade. They have the living armor to sustain as well.
But surely Espada are going to challenge this Roshan, unless they'll buy back on the CM, I think, and just kind of get in there.
Yeah, especially with the Shadow Demon, with the Aether Lens as well, has so much disruption potential in the team in the Roche pit with the Shadow Poisons coming out all the time. You know, if they can get this disruption onto the Terrorblade with the Soul Catcher as well, with the Demonic Purge, sorry, as well, it's really difficult for them to fight into that.
Ember as well, going for the Lincoln Sphere, of course, to block that Doom, if possible, and also the disruption as well, just in order to get himself out of the fights quickly, and allow him to get a bit more brave with his split pushing as well. It's very hard to kill an Ember with a Lincolns if he's got his Remnant down, obviously, because you get a nice loud audio cue as the Ember Spirit saying, "Remnant now, you idiot." And G is cool. Looks like we're good to go.
I feel like it's going to get to the point in the game where Ember's going to become unkillable, though. They need to be able to find some way to lock down this Ember now in the fights, because if you see his positioning at the moment, he's doing this really good job of just standing on the sidelines, just using this slide over and over and over again with the Maelstrom procs. I feel like he's the main damage coming out from GangSquad at the moment. I think Invoker, like, someone needs to try and get on the backlines here for Espada. Maybe the Doom, maybe the Invoker.
Yeah. Get in there, cause a bit of disruption.
Oh, but that'll be Shadow Demon then.
Oh, Shadow Demon Blink, let's go.
I'm so funny.
A little bit interesting that Brewmaster's going for the Vlads. It's not, we've been seeing a little bit more off recently. But, I expected a pipe, but he says Vlads. Can't say I agree, but,
I mean...
Evaluate. Go. Do analysis things.
The Vlads is pretty good for the Ember and the Terrorblade, just for the lifesteal and such. But yeah, I'm not too sure, honestly. Even something like a Shivas might be really good this game on the Brewmaster. Just against the PL, having that attack speed slow around him during the ult as well was really good against all the illusions.
Well, Shan is not the call.
I'm just going to back off for now. I feel like they could have gone for this, but just want to play safe, which I feel like has been GangSquad's. I feel like they've been playing pretty safe all game. They've not really taken many risks.
A downfall, perhaps?
Not necessarily. I feel like they still just want to try and play it towards this late game. So
yeah,
any silly mistake you make at this point in time, you're kind of allowing Espada to build up to go along with this momentum that they've already had so far this game. Using the disruption on the Crystal Main. Obviously not one of the not quite a Luna, but almost.
Well, Nine will just try and push out lanes. He's got a Remnant available for a little bit right now. Actually getting scared off. Look at this Dire Ward really deep down here in front of this tier 2 tower. I'm not even sure when they placed this down, but well, it was quite a while ago. It's only got 2 minutes left, but that's going to be giving them a lot of information. And the Ember Spirit has been hanging around that lane an awful lot, so it's definitely been giving them the information they need. Meanwhile, Roshan is being attempted here, and it's just Nyx and ILTW with, well, the whole team standing outside. And
GangSquad think they're smoked as well. They've been sitting back for so long, and they're going to get into this Roshan pit far too late to be able to do anything.
I think they spotted it, and there's a pause. Okay, they just say G quickly. You reckon he paused and just said, "Run to Roshan," and then unpause the game?
I mean, possibly, but they're far too late already anyway.
Yep, Nyx got the job done. Power shot's coming through, but it's not enough to make the cheese plays.
They didn't go for the Rosh themselves, though, and I feel like they've been punished slightly there by just allowing Espada to get that completely uncontested.
Yep, that's maybe a little bit lax, maybe a little bit too backseat from GangSquad right now, but I think that was a really good read from Espada. You know, they said these guys have got a Terrorblade and an Ember. They don't want to fight right now. If we just go for the Roshan after we just died and lost a fight, they won't be expecting that at all. And they're not in that mindset to try and contest that Roman. Okay, it's a very dead Treant, though he does pop the ulti just before he dies, but there's a Manta now up on the Phantom Lancer, so he just frees himself and finishes off that Treant.
He had 3 wards on him again. He was trying to get some deep vision down, but unfortunately gets picked off along the way. I think he must have walked up the hill and been caught there, because there isn't any detection around from the Dire already that's preset.
ILTW really wants to make a play onto 9 here, and he does actually get the Cold Snap and the Silence off as well to break the, well, he doesn't even have the Lincolns yet. Yeah, that's a nice one. This is actually a complete bait as GangSquad are all jumping in on that one.
Right, now they need to push this into a tier 2 top. They have to get an objective here. My only worry is that PL's pushing up this bot lane, so they might end up just trading 1-for-1 here if the PL just decides to carry on pushing.
Yeah, he's going to back himself out.
Well, GangSquad are playing so safe.
Yeah, I was going to say, GangSquad not going for the push here. I mean, what's their vision looking like? Okay, so they do see the Dooms down here in the bottom lane, and they should know that the PL is probably still hanging about. In fact, he's just farming the creep waves. They absolutely do know that. And the fact they're not going for this tower is pretty insane. DNZ is going to come and focus fire it, but
I think RMN's looking to cancel TPs here on this Treant, just so they can take this top tier 2 tower safely. But he's on the wrong side of the trees anyway.
DNZ are going to fortify to try and keep this tower push going. And to defend their tower at bottom as well. But bottom tower, it's going to go down. Do they make the trade? It's still just DNZ, the lone archer, trying to take this tower, and I don't think they're going to get it, so...
Like, Oliver had used meta there. I don't understand why they didn't just go and finish off the tier 2 top. Like, the trades that they're getting at the moment are so unfavourable.
Quite the mystery, some would say. And, I mean, I guess they just want to play it safe, but then again, they're safe, and then there's, well, there's not taking towers, but they won't be punished for it after all. They feel like Espada could have gone back. Reflection used. Sure.
If they lose this tier 3, this is really... They don't have meta up to fight either. Like, there's a really big possibility that they just lose this tower.
Yeah, and the whole of Espada on the backlines, they are fully ready to fight this one. Oh, there's a split used from Boogie. They come forwards, but they don't get the slight chains off on the Nyx here. And,
they have to find something here with this split. Otherwise, it's just completely wasted split, and they don't...
Oh, Nyx, he's taking a bit of damage, but of course he's got this Aegis, so he's happy if they focus him.
I mean, they now don't have meta and they don't have split. So what's their team fight now to be able to defend this tier 3? It's just this Ember with the slide coming through. And there's an Aegis on the PL.
Oh,
I think you just commit to this tier 3, honestly, if you're Espada.
Yeah.
Like, if
Doppelganger up to the high ground, Manta as well, they can probably take it down. As you say, the heal from Treant.
Yeah, they're just playing it safe for themselves as well. I was going to say, if they don't commit to this tier 3, the living armor coming through is just going to heal it all the way back up to full again.
Well,
GangSquad hold their high ground, which is really important when you have this treant. So
quite
really
surprising as well, yeah. They wouldn't have held on to that if it wasn't for the treant, I don't think.
Yeah,
It's
you
so
have to
much
try and
there.
defend as many towers as you
Wind
can.
Ranger, she gets the coattails thrown up into the air by a tornado, but not herself. And oh, there is a Doom coming out. They've actually managed to find the Terror Blade now. He is just going to run away from this one, so he's definitely not going to die. Meanwhile, BZZ might as well drop for this one. Yeah, Power Shot comes through to finish the job, and they get something from nothing. They get a Doom and a kill on the Doom. For what?
I mean, they just do the backlines, but there's no follow-up stuns or damage, so the Terror Blade just runs away.
Yeah.
And again, the Ember's just dancing away in these backlines. Like, he's not getting touched at all. And he's loving every minute now. He's got a Lincoln, so that's even less kill potential they've got in the Ember now. They can cancel out the Frostbite if it comes onto him, cancel out the Doom if they throw that first, cancel out the Disruption or the Demonic Purge if that comes first. There's not...
Oh, Evoker could be in trouble. They've caught him out. They'll bring him down, and, well, another nice assassination from GangSquad here is showing a little bit of gumption here in this mid-game.
I don't know, this is looking pretty bad for Espada now. It feels like they've missed their timing almost with this cross-check Invoker. Obviously, Invoker does still scale well. If he goes for this Aghanims, he's going for a BKB next as well, which I think he needs really badly.
Phantom Lancer, he's picked himself up a heart, so this guy ain't nothing to mess with, as Ironman's just about to find out. The Shackle Shot comes through on the wrong one as a reflection comes out. Ironman trying to limp himself away from this one. I think the ulti from the Shadow Demon will finish the job. But it's little, it's not that much, and yeah, so Ember will see that this Phantom Lancer went for the heart, and Ember's just gonna go straight up for the spam application. That's not a surprise considering he's got the Maelstrom as well, but you know, I think if PL had gone for the Butterfly, then he would have gone for the True Strike, but PL goes, well, there's no point in me building Butterfly.
They're just pushing in this bot lane as well. They've got the Disruption, dodge out the Power Shot.
Yeah. I mean, this tower would be really nice to them, but in comes Boogie. They want to make use of this Aegis as well. Boogie held in place by the root, but can still get off that ultimate and then purge off all of those illusions. And the Shackle Shot comes through onto the support, actually. And Nyx is able to fund off in the Fright Lands as, well, there's 2 pandas left as he keeps on destroying these illusions, which Nyx is pushing out. And Nyx in a bit of an awkward position here. He doesn't have the Aegis anymore, actually. And on 40 HP, he's just going to die the moment he comes back into this fight. Now they're going to find Misha in the tree line as well, as Oliver finds her and just tears her limb from limb. The Crystal Maiden devoured. And now Immersion, he's also trying to get away, but he's just going to yield himself up onto the air. But no surviving this one as GangSquad find 3 heroes, one of them being the Phantom Lancer. Going to be very happy with this one.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. So you mentioned about the Spell Amp on the Ember. I think it's definitely the right play this game just because he has the Terror Blade to be able to do physical damage. I think sometimes when you have the Ember as like your raw position 1, you kind of want to be able to scale into the late game with the True Strike and such, especially when PL could build a Butterfly and things. But this game, I think he's kind of okay just to dance around these fights like we've been mentioning and let the Terror Blade be the one on the front lines.
It's not the true carry, although they do manage to pop the link in to get the Doom off onto the Ember. But yeah, nice shackle onto ILTW. DNZ might find the return kill with Boogie coming in the backlines. This might be enough to bring him down. But Ember Spirit, he's actually going to go for the kill just before he dies. And he does get it. And now he says, do what you must. But the Sunder is there from Oliver to keep the Ember Spirit alive. DNZ is here. The shackle does not latch. But what does it matter? They've got more than enough slows to keep BZZ in place for a couple of days as they tear down the Doom. And that's going to be a lovely couple of kills coming out from GangSquad here. They've finally woken up this game and they are playing pretty good Dota 2, I would say.
It's got to this late game situation now that we said they were aiming for. This is why they didn't take risks before, because they felt confident going into this stage of the game, I guess. Yeah, the Terror Blade's picked up a blink as well, which I think is another thing worth mentioning. Yeah. Obviously, when you're against this PL, the PL versus Terror Blade matchup's a little bit weird. So when the PL gets a diffusal, you can just run at the Terror Blade for those few minutes afterwards, because he can't really fight into you without like his max reflection. But as soon as the PL pops the Doppelganger, Terror Blade's just blinking every time of just popping the reflection.
Ooh, immersion with the reactions there. Blinking out at just the right frame. Like, Shackle Shot was even cast. Ooh. Like Neo from the Matrix. Well, the pause has had another pause, this time from Penta. Each team have had their fair share of pausing this game, so...
There's something in the air, dude.
Yeah,
Something on the internet.
it's pretty hot, and playing this game as well. You know, I've heard the heat wave's been hitting Europe now as well. So playing the game whilst in the heat, occasionally you just need to go and pour some cold water over yourself, or
I've got to be honest. I would love a cold shower right now. I'm absolutely boiling. Jeez.
I thought you were going to say you're just particularly excited about the game.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. The Roshan has just spawned, by the way. So if they can get this on GangSquad now, put it on the Terrorblade. Just run up to the high ground. I mean, they could just put it on the Ember, actually. It's not Terrorblade's not a great Aegis carrier because of the Metamorphosis not being up when you respawn, if you already used it. Even so, though, just having this Aegis on the Ember just allows them to dance on these fights even more. I feel like I've used that phrase about 100 times this game already. Dancing?
Yeah. You're feeling the mood of the game. It's been a very... I'd call it a tango if it were a dance. It's definitely not a waltz. These teams aren't kind of... it's very spicy. There's not much grace in this game. It's very backwards and forwards, scrappy team fights, and yeah, definitely.
I mean, I've seen you play Dota Nomad. There is definitely no,
the Macarena.
Yeah, it's just a mosh pit when you play Dota.
I'll take that. That's kind of the Macarena.
In the sense that you're just getting knocked around.
Well, yeah, okay. And imagine playing Dota at a competitive level and spreading another team's logo on the floor.
God damn.
Even know what that means.
Complete disrespect to their organisation. Oh no, never mind. Sorry. I feel like that was a little bit too far, actually. Yeah. I mean, I really like watching these guys play. I'm a big fan of these guys.
Can't dig upwards. Terrorblade Illusions coming in with the PL Illusions as well. The Illusion Army going to chase down DNZ and Oliver here. They will have to pop the Manta. I'm not sure they had to pop the Manta, but they did pop the Manta. And that's just going to give Nick some more illusions, and the illusion train, again, leaves the station in the middle lane. This is curious.
I feel like we haven't really seen the Shadow Demon get on top of the Terrorblade at all. Like, we talked about this interaction early on in the game, about how good it is. But it feels like the Shadow Demon's having to use this disruption defensively so much of the time, and the Terrorblade's holding back until he sees that disruption being used, and then he's jumping into the fight with the blink. He understands how important it is for him to not get disrupted, especially when he has his Metamorphosis running.
Well, Roshan is up again, and Nyx is going to do his best to try and take it here with the Alacrity as well. It's going to speed up not just the illusions spawn time, but its own damage. As they start to rip through this Roshan, they will be rewarded with the cheese this time. Now, can GangSquad make a play onto this Roshan? I feel like they definitely need to, but, well, there's a bit of dewarding going on, so they know this is happening, but it just seems like they don't want to commit. Power Shot comes through. It's taking a long time to do this Roshan, though, and 9 is close enough to throw in a Sleight of Fist, and now it's a pause from RMN, as a server is, question marked. I was noticing a little bit of lag there.
Oh, really?
Tiny bit, yeah. Struggling to handle all of these illusions in the Roche pit, and
okay, so let's guess how this fight's gonna go. So
all right,
Radiant have all their spells up. They've got Meta up. They've got Breeze split.
Wait. Let's engage the chat here. Chat, press 1 if you think that GangSquad will kill Roshan. Press 2 if you think Espada will pick Roshan, and BTS will not reward you in any way, shape, or form for being right, but you might feel good about yourself for the rest of the day.
If you get it wrong, I get to flame you. That's how this works. This is a two-way street, guys. Come on.
Everybody's been flaming you all day anyway, so it doesn't really...
That's fine. It's
just equaling out.
Story of my life.
I think the safe bet is 2 right now.
Oh no, he didn't.
He's in the Roche pit. He's in the Roche pit, and it's another pause. Sad faces is said, and he says, "Are you lagging too?" Oh, okay. Oliver with some choice words on the situation. No, we are fine, says Espada.
Oliver can't see anything, and he's just blinked into the Roche pit.
Right. Hello, we don't speak Russian. Alright, so I'm not sure if this is a deliberate play from Oliver. He's got a BKB and a Manta available. Do you reckon this is some next level bait, where they're like, oh, our Terrorblade doesn't know what he's doing, and then all of a sudden, haha, it was all a bait.
I'm pretty sure they all just need to reconnect instead of complaining. You've got to try and fix this, you know? If it's a problem with their internet,
he did reconnect a little bit earlier, but yeah.
But like
Boogie waiting on the high ground though. Let's looking at this setup here.
We ready, by the way.
Just in case you didn't know, Boogie's on the high ground. He's got the blink. He's got the split. RMN is waiting with the overgrowth. You know, he doesn't have a blink dagger himself. He's been very poor this game. 2.2k net worth on RMN actually, so pretty
Our
sad.
game spikes every time we see Roche. I don't see Roshan. I think that's because you're just outside the pit. Yeah, you are. That's probably why.
Leave them alone, dude. They're just trying to sort out their issues. Meanwhile, Evoker's waiting. He's got the Orchid. He does have, he's probably got a Tornado available. He did just throw one out actually, so maybe not. He's got the Arcane Rune, which is very scary for them to fight into though on the Invoker. He's also got the Orchid. Meanwhile, CM, of course, the Freezing Field. It's ready.
Every time I see Roshan, I can't do anything.
That does sound like an issue. I'm not gonna lie. As they have now 4 of them disconnected, except for Oliver.
Oh, that's why they didn't contest the Roche before. Oh. Are you boot camping? I imagine they're probably not boot camping after the TI qualifiers, surely. I feel like that would be the only reason. Yeah.
No, we are not. Who knows? Who knows? Quite the bug. I'm hoping that it's we can get back into this quite quickly. I think it might be lagged because of illusions. I don't know. All the detectors are on this case right now. Everybody's getting into it. Can I bring down this Terrorblade quickly enough here?
No, because he has a BKB. I don't think, unless they can get a disruption with a. There's a 4-second cooldown on disruption left. They can't see anything in the Roche pit when they use their spells, and their game just freezes.
It's unfixable. Those are PL Terrorblade bugs.
So we're in beta, guys.
Let's go, Dotes. Go. Alrighty, let's get into it.
small
Let's see what
indie
happens
company.
here as Oliver's in the pit. He pops that Manta nice and early. As
Oh,
Boogie
God.
jumps in as well, and this is... Wow.
I'm lagging out.
We've all just frozen. Dota has officially broken. We're still talking in the chat. Well, this is unexpected.
Jesus.
Normally indeed. RMN couldn't say it better myself, my friend. Looks like we will have to remake... I don't know what's going on here. Unpausing? Repausing? I don't know what's going on.
Possibly the best Dota bug I've ever seen in my lifetime of 10 years or whatever is playing this game. That is fantastic.
Wow. Okay, well, we'll stay with you as we try and work through this issue. This is... International just around the corner.
It's in beta, guys. It doesn't matter. It'll be fixed. Eventually.
Small indie team, etc. Just all the memes can be thrown out here. You got a free pass, guys. It's totally... This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Alright, well,
I'm reconnecting in now. There you go, I'm in.
Oh, are you in? Okay, I'll reconnect.
What do we do if it lags again? Pause.
What else can you do? What else can you do? I feel really bad for these players because this game was looking super interesting. This is probably the game-deciding fight right now. Whoever takes this Roshan is in a really good position to win this game, and well,
Can you imagine if we were just in the TI final? And then all of a sudden, this just happens in the middle of like game 5. In the
oh my
final
god! But
round.
look at this pit though. No wonder it crashed. What is going on here? There's so many PL illusions. There's remnants going on. There's 2 dooms on the side of the dire, and there's also a reflection doom as well. There's PL reflections going on. This is just a complete cluster bomb.
Holy.
We are ready. Is this gonna work? Can the Dota servers handle this? I'm not sure
I
they
mean,
can.
I can't handle it. Never mind the Dota service.
We pause again and reconnect. Okay, go. Well,
Jesus.
hold on to your hats, people. Cross your fingers, cross your toes, kiss your girlfriends. Let's find out what happens here. And looks like we're holding on as we're inside the pit. Nick's trying to get out of this one, but the Phantom Lancer is the one dropping low. Meanwhile, beautiful shackle shot from DNZ on the sidelines, but we've frozen again. DNZ is dominating. Everybody's dying?
What is happening?
What? Okay, it's a full buyback from Espada here. As it looks like GangSquad won the fight, and they will take Roshan as well. No complaints so far, no pauses coming out, so I guess it was just for us, the observers. Meanwhile, Nyx is taking a lot of damage on the backlines, and they will bring down... No, he's just about alive, but he does get finished off. That's a dieback from him. Meanwhile, Crystal Maiden, she's going to get blown up on the backlines. It's a monster kill Coming out from Oliver as a Terrorblade just rips him apart, and it's a dieback, and GG is called what the actual fuck.
I have no idea what's happening, by the way. I'm still completely frozen. Could you see what was happening in the last fight?
Kind of, yeah. It was a little bit weird. Well, game 1 goes to GangSquad in the most spectacular fashion. Alright.
Okay, I didn't see the end fight, so my analysis of that situation is everybody please buy more Battle Pass levels so we can fund Valve to help with small issues like this.
Okay, so that fight was basically the Terrorblade being able to get off so much damage. The Phantom Lancers got completely isolated on the front lines. DNZ got a beautiful shackle shot on the back to hold 2 heroes still. And yeah, GangSquad just basically walked them with all of this physical damage they've now got. 9 was allowed to do what he wanted. Espada just weren't in the right headspace. I don't even think they got a Doom off in his 2 lives. Nyx bought back, Crystal Maiden bought back, and I think the Doom bought back as well. But well, in the end, game number 1 goes to GangSquad. Now, obviously, we'll keep you updated on the situation. I don't know. I imagine this situation will hold. And we'll just go on to a game 2.
I mean,
we're going to drop to a break. Sorry,
that game did look pretty good for GangSquad going into that game. So
it did.
If one team was going to win, it was probably going to be them, but that's not how you want to decide it. That's
yeah,
very interesting.
Right. Manager's going to be contacted, and we will come up with an official decision after this game. I think I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not going to say anything. We'll catch you very shortly for game number 2 coming up. Don't go anywhere.